I don't know about you, but mornings in our house can feel like a marathon before 9 a.m. And I am just used to powering right on through, which always left me dragging by mid morning. Kachava has completely changed that for me. It's a plant based superfood meal shake that actually feels like real nourishment, not some chalky health drink. With over 85 superfoods, nutrients, and plant-based ingredients, Kachava is a whole-body meal that supports your strength, energy, digestion, metabolism, cognition, and immunity. And best of all, it's the taste. They really understand that we need to be motivated by actual flavor here. I have more steady energy, fewer crashes, and I am not rummaging through the pantry at 10 a.m. for snacks. It's become this little anchor in my day, something easy and good I can do for myself, even on the most chaotic mornings. If you've seen me recently, I'm probably sipping on their new strawberry flavor. They use real freeze-dried strawberries, and you can really actually taste the difference. You've never tasted strawberry like this. Go to kachava.com and use code WeCanDoHardThings for 15% off your next order. That's Kachava, Kachava.com, code We Can Do Hard Things for 15% off. Hello, everyone. I'm Abby. Welcome back to We Can Do Hard Things. And we have a real treat for you today because we're talking to our dear friend and truly the friend of women everywhere.
Correct.
Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon is an award-winning actress, entrepreneur, producer, and New York Times best-selling author. She won an Academy Award for her portrayal of June Carter Cash in Walk the Line, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. And later nominated in that same category for, you may have heard it, Wild. In 2014, which she also produced. Witherspoon also starred in beloved film Sweet Home Alabama.
I love that so much.
I know, Legally Blonde.
Oh, get out of here with that.
An Election, Me, as well as award-winning television series Big Little Lies.
Oh, jeez.
Little Fires Everywhere.
I know. It's
and
just,
The Morning Show.
Come on.
Which turned gay. Best moment of our life. Abby and I celebrated that moment on the couch like it was ours, like we wrote it.
Yes, yes.
And it was my first moment of gaydar. Remember, I saw it coming before you.
You did, actually.
Okay. In 2016, she established Hello Sunshine, a media brand that has changed the world,
yes,
for sure.
Big time.
And content company dedicated to female authorship and storytelling across all platforms. I'm going to calm down. Hello Sunshine is also home to Reese's Book Club and Reese's YA Book Club, which focuses on storytelling with women at the center.
Yes.
Hello Sunshine is now the cornerstone of a larger media company called Candle Media. Reese, are you tired?
Very. She's got to be very tired.
I am tired. I'm a little tired, but I love my job so much. I wake up every day and I just get excited to talk about. I mean, are you kidding me? I get to tell stories for a living.
Yeah,
and it's just a dream.
Mm.
But thank you for that lovely intro. I'm just, sometimes you're just like working and you forget that you've done other things. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice.
I know. And it's like, not that you've just done things. You've done incredible things. Like all of the things that we just talked about are like our favorite movies and our favorite experiences that we share with each other. It's just incredible to us.
Yeah. And after doing all of those fantastic movies, it would have been certainly okay for you to be like, I've done what I'm going to do for you.
Yeah. Thanks,
world.
Hollywood. Bye.
But then you changed the whole landscape for everybody. And we're going to get into that. But before all of that, before you exploded the planet with your existence, you were born in March of 1976. You and I were born 2 days apart.
Wow.
I know. We're both Aries. You may have seen it.
That is really something.
We both got pregnant in our early 20s and got married. We both had more babies, then got divorced. And now we are both remarried with blended families and careers. So I want to start with this question. What do you see as the difference between 23-year-old Reese and 46-year-old Reese?
Oh gosh. Well, even when you just said that, it kind of brought tears to my eyes, thinking about when I was 22 and finding out I was pregnant. And I remember reading Love Warrior and just feeling like, oh my God, I had all those feelings. I was so scared. I was so scared. And like not knowing what to do and not knowing what it was going to do to my career. And I had people in my ear going, I don't know what you're doing. And just, having to make a decision or making choices when you're that young and you don't know who you are yet, I think back about it a lot. I think back about how I got through having a newborn when I was 23 years old and my friends were partying and going to clubs. And I was taking her to preschool and putting her in the car seat and pushing her around the grocery store and just talking to her. Like, I talked to her all day and I read to her all day and I sang to her all day and she was my little best friend. And, but it was lonely. It was really hard and lonely. I was living in LA. I didn't have any girlfriends. I don't have a sister. My mom had a full-time job as a nurse. She couldn't leave her job in Nashville. And so I was just searching for community. And I found it through this group of women at a mommy and me yoga class. And I clung to these women. I just clung to them. These women put their arms around me. They called me every week to see how I was doing. They called me late at night to see if the baby was sleeping. And I have to say, I think I've always felt great comfort in female friendship and female partnership because I couldn't do it without the amazing women in my life.
Amazing. Babe, what's the difference between your 23-year-old self and your 46-year-old self?
I think that I believed in structure and institutions more than I do now. I was scared shitless too, Reese, and I was like, I have to get married.
Yeah.
I have to get married. I have to find a church. I have to I have to do the structures to keep me safe. Even though looking back, I remember my ex-husband saying, I don't think we should get married. And I was like, prank caller. We're just going to barrel through. So anyway, I think a 46-year-old believes in myself more than institutions, and my 23-year-old self was different.
Cool.
So those women in that yoga class that you clung to, what a great word, by the way, clung, because we're not supposed to be needy, but we are all needy as shit.
Yeah.
Right? So
needy.
We're all so needy. We're oozing with need.
My cup runneth over with need. I'm like a black hole of need.
Yes.
It just keeps sucking in. And mainly of female friendship. I just need it so badly.
Yeah. When we asked you if you would do this podcast, you said yes right away. I said, what do you want to talk about? And you said, actually, my husband and I were just talking last night about how I want to talk more about female friendship. So tell us why that is so important for you to talk about more in the world.
I was talking to him about, first of all, it's so cute. We talk about y'all all the time. My husband, my son, and I, because we are obsessed with soccer. They watch soccer all day long. So mainly we talk about Abby.
Yeah, I feel you. Same.
And then they're like, Mom, who's Glennon?
Abby's wife.
But oh my gosh, we were talking about Abby's stats in the car to my son and how important it was that decision to equally distribute the money of the U.S. Soccer team between the men and the women's teams, and why does it matter? And so then we looked up your stats, and your stats were insane and so cool. So I just told him, I was like, oh, I'm going to talk to Abby, and he was like, what are you guys going to talk about? Our feelings. He was like, why would you want to talk about that?
That's right. That's what we do here.
First of all, I say to my husband a lot, I thank God that Glennon Doyle is in the world. I thank God that Cheryl Strait is in the world, that Liz Gilbert is in this world, and I'll include Ann Patchett and a whole other group of people who, when I don't know where to turn, I look at your writing and your books, and it just grounds me. It makes me feel like I'm not alone, and that everything that I've been pushing forward towards, which is sometimes exhausting, and it sounds like everybody you talk to, I was listening to your podcast with Bose, it's tiring to push a rock up a hill,
Mm-hmm.
and have it roll back on you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but sometimes you get a gain and then you're like, oh, we got a gain. And then sometimes you get a loss and you're like, oh my God, am I going to push that rock again? Jesus, I can't.
Yep.
And I cry a lot. But I was telling my husband about something in Love Warrior that really resonated with me, and it changed the way I am a friend, which was, you describe telling your story to different people and the different responses that they have. One is the fixer, one is the shover, one is the comparer. And it was a light bulb for me that I can't remember which one I used to be, but I was definitely one of those people who was like, not this too shall pass, but I was like, well, I've got an incredible therapist or,
Fixer. I was going to say, if I had to pick one, because you're a helper, you want to help people, right?
I do. And I just think, oh gosh, if I could just help, then everything would be better. But it really spoke to me, that part of that book that was about actively listening as a friend, sitting in quiet understanding, sitting next to someone or hearing them or really seeing them is so much more valuable. I just never saw anybody describe it that way. And it was really a revelation to me.
Well, it's exciting to me that I taught Reese something about friendship because what the Pod Squad needs to know is Reese is known as being a very good friend in the world. I don't want to say a friend expert. Like, I don't know if she'd teach a class about it. It's just that it feels to me like you have figured out how to maintain and show up over time and have friendship be a life-giving force in your life over time. Like, you've nailed that.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
Yeah.
We should call one of my friends real quick.
We did. we vetted you?
No.
Thoroughly. I'm joking.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Not.
They'd probably be like, you travel too much. That's what they say.
So I want to ask you, Reese, some questions about friendship because I'm 46 now and I'm trying to figure out friendship right now. I got sober, I became a mom. I did that. I haven't explored or figured out the life-giving force of friendship yet. And I'm not beating myself up about it. It's just a new frontier for me.
You also fell in love. And so that was like big for 5 years.
Yeah, I'm slowly growing.
But we know that that's not sustainable, that it can't just be us.
Right.
Like, we actually need
Friends.
Life-giving force from others.
That's
also.
right. Abby's like, dear God, spread the
Well,
wealth.
we both are.
Glennon.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you some questions, Reese, and I just want you to pretend like I'm an alien who's just landed on the planet and you're trying to explain friendship to me, because that is in fact what's happening right now.
That's
okay.
What is friendship, Reese?
Friendship is so much, but it's a deposit and a withdrawal system.
Ooh.
I think about that a lot. You can't take a withdrawal if you haven't made a deposit.
That's really good.
And I think about that a lot because, I think people in my position and y'all's position, it's like, there's a lot of people who want to withdraw.
Mm-hmm.
There is. And people who have bright light or energy or are caregivers or are caretakers, they give, right? But you got to make sure someone's putting a deposit into your friendship.
Mm.
And then every once in a while, reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Is this more withdrawal than deposit? Like, where is the balance here?
It's so good. I think that this is what we've figured out over the last many years, our search for more friendship. We want to feel like friends are helping us also learn more about and explore more about the world. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that we found a couple of friends here that are doing that. And it feels so wonderful now that we live in LA. It feels so wonderful.
Reese, how do you identify a person that you want to be a friend? Like,
oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah.
Because it's like romantic love is like different. It's like, oh, love filled with butterflies. Something's happening.
Yeah.
What's friendship butterflies?
Gosh, I feel like it's a very similar thing.
It is, right?
I can look at a group of people and I just know the 2 or 3 people I'm supposed to get to know better. It doesn't mean that we're going to have this incredible connection, but I watch the way people interact with people, their use of language. I think is really important to me because I'm a words person. looking at that, are they here to withdraw or deposit
Mm.
or stay neutral? Oh, this is a funny story, y'all. I trained for this movie where I played a NCAA championship softball player. Don't laugh.
Nobody's laughing.
I had this really great coach, and she was like a 12-time NCAA champion coach. And I thought, well, first of all, anybody who's had coaching at that level, just the positivity that they put in these young athletes is incredible. I thought, if I'd had that when I was 22, yes. I wouldn't have to read 100 self-help books. I read 100 self-help books when I was 20, 22, 23. And she said something really smart about friendship. Her name was Coach Enquist, Sue Enquist. Do you know Coach Enquist?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's amazing. And she said, Reese, you're going to meet 3 different kinds of people in life. A third of the people are going to lift you up. They're going to believe in your dreams. They're going to encourage you. You're going to encourage them. And a third of the people are going to be totally neutral. They're just neutral. And you don't care about them. They don't care about you. No harm, no foul. And then the other third are going to try and drag you down. Actively, whether they know it consciously, unconsciously, they are here to pull people down. And they're going to try and pull you down. And she was like, avoid the bottom third.
Yeah.
And I talk to like my kids about it all the time, about finding friendships that lift you up, see you, care about your children, care about your mom and your dad and your family. Try and bring and attract those kind of people in your life and avoid those bottom third.
Yeah.
Because they're coming for you, man. They're coming for your light and your energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really good. One thing I love about our listeners is how industrious all of you are. The stories we hear about you guys going off on your own and starting your own ventures like we did, it's truly inspiring. It's a big part of why NetSuite came to us as a sponsor. NetSuite offers real-time data and insights for so many business owners, and by that, I mean over 42,000 businesses. NetSuite offers the #1 AI-powered cloud ERP. Think of it as a central nervous system for your business. Instead of juggling separate tools for accounting here, HR there, inventory somewhere else, NetSuite pulls everything into one seamless platform. That means you finally have one source of truth, real visibility, real control, and the power to make smarter decisions faster. With real-time data and forecasting, you're not just reacting to what already happened, you're planning for what's next. And whether your company is bringing in a few million or hundreds of millions, NetSuite scales with you. It helps you tackle today's challenges and chase down tomorrow's opportunities without missing a beat. Speaking of opportunity, download the CFO's Guide to AI and Machine Learning at netsuite.com/hardthings. The guide is free to you at netsuite.com/hardthings, netsuite.com/hardthings.
Okay, so when you find somebody who's in that top third and you get the friendship butterflies, what do you do to make the first move?
I have to be brave. And for me, being brave is like just jumping. Like I imagine myself as a little kid jumping 2 feet in a cold pool. And once you get in there, it's not as cold as you thought it was.
That's right.
I also think about other people like, it must be terrifying to have to stand alone in a room, or I think, I'm going to go say hi. Why not? What's the worst thing that could happen? Or be vulnerable. I will tell you, when I had no friends in Los Angeles, I moved right after college. I stopped out of Stanford because I got this job and I moved into this apartment. I didn't know anybody. I was 19 years old. I had no friends. And my mom came to visit me. I go, Mom, I have no friends. And she's like, well, there's a girl across the hallway. I had to do it like Betty Witherspoon. There's a girl across the hallway. And she looks like she's about your age. And I think you should just go over there and you should just ask her if she wants to have some coffee. And I was like, really? Yeah. So I knocked on her door.
Oh my God.
And I was like, hi. And she goes, hi. I said, hi, I'm Reese. I'm 19. She goes, I'm 19 too. My name is Heather. And I was like, I don't know anybody. I just stopped out of Stanford. I'm here by myself. She goes, I just stopped out of Berkeley. I was like, oh, I'm working. She's like, I'm working too. I was like, do you want to get coffee? She's my best friend to this day.
No.
She's my very best friend on planet Earth.
I saw you do this recently. I saw her do it. We were in a little thing together, and the woman who was running the workshop said, pair up, find a partner. Like, people who say that, I just want to stick a fork in their eyeball. I just stood there for a second, and Reese walked over to the person who was sitting by themselves and just grabbed her and said, I want to be a partner. I was like, yeah, of course she did. Okay, so you pretend like you're just jumping in the freezing cold pool to get through that initial resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you...
Half of my life is just like jumping into a freezing cold pool. Think about all the things that you have to do to just get to there and then get to there and get to there. It's like, oh, I've done much scarier things than introduce myself.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's good.
Okay. How do you know that someone doesn't just want to be friends with you because you're famous?
I don't.
You don't.
Mm-mm.
That's so cool to say, Reese, because that's a very non-codependent thing to say. Yeah. That's like it's not my problem sort of thing. That's so good.
Well, I hope I figure it out quickly. Mm-hmm. But like, I do have a really good group of girlfriends around who will say to me, hey, he just wants to be your friend because he's trying to, I don't know, write an article. It becomes pretty apparent pretty quickly. Again, withdrawals, no deposits.
Okay, that's right. That's how. Okay, that's good.
And also, y'all, don't you feel like you have such limited time? Friendship is like this very important thing, but you got to have friends who, first of all, be able to put them on your speed dial. They'd show up if your kid was sick. Mm-hmm. And then you have to be able to hang up the phone immediately and they don't get their feelings hurt.
Right.
Yes. I gotta go. Click.
Yes.
Like, literally, when you call them 3 days later, you just start talking about whatever you were talking about when you hung up the phone, right?
Yeah.
We had a friend that they said, you know, if we are literally driving to your house for dinner and you need to call and cancel, we won't ask questions. We'll turn our car around and go home. So that's the kind of friendship and I was like, well, this is wonderful.
I was like, don't say that to us.
You're just giving Glennon a cancellation out every time.
Reese, every time I make a plan with someone, and I'm getting better because I'm working on friendship, but I just feel like it's this game of chicken of who's going to cancel first. And I'm trying to wait it out so the other person will cancel. So I get the moral high ground of not canceling, but I still don't have to go. It's that sweet spot, you know?
Maybe you just need friends to who like to come to your house.
Yeah, for sure. We do. And that's what they do.
Yeah,
that's what they do. Okay. So what is needed to maintain a friendship, Reese? Because I used to think you just find someone you love and you're like, you're my person. And that's it. And then you just don't ever talk again. What is your friendship maintenance plan? What's required?
Oh gosh. I think my friends are going to be like, what is she going to say? Random check-ins. Like, not just your birthday, like random check-ins. Like, you're on my mind. What's going on? How are you, girl? Like, that's my favorite kind of friend.
That's good.
And we don't have to see each other. We don't have to FaceTime. It literally just a text. I like a voice memo too. I think making a lot of deposits, I keep saying this over and over again. It's really on my brain a lot. I think I'm in an evaluation place because during the pandemic, I moved. I think everybody reevaluated everything during the pandemic, right? You reevaluated your job. You reevaluated your friendships. You reevaluated your relationship with your children. I got 2 dogs.
We got one extra. Yeah.
So much behavior changed in such a short amount of time if you think about it. I moved and I've really been, I have to be honest, I've been kind of looking for friends in this new place I live, and it's hard. It's really hard. Adult friendship is hard. Yeah. So I just try to tell myself to be patient. And then of course my husband goes out and he has 100 people to hang out with. He has a standing Wednesday coffee and a Thursday night guys night. And I'm like, how did you do that?
How did he do that?
We should get him here. He's the best friend ever.
Aww.
Does it mean that
He's a really
I
good
just
friend.
wonder if the barometer for friendship and the requirement for friendship for men might be just slightly
lower?
actually, we're just going to like get together and watch a sports game or whatever.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not to belittle men here who are listening, but I actually
We're
think
looking for something that's like a magic match.
More meaningful and more deep. I don't know.
Or fun.
Yeah.
We're all looking to we get out of the house for a minute. I just want to have some fun.
Yes.
And then I'm going to run back to my house.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Have you ever had to end a friendship? Because this
Yes.
is, Reese, I feel like one of the things that's scary about friendship is like, for marriage, I know how to get divorced.
Please don't say
there's
that.
There's a pattern. There's a structure for breakup, but there's no structure for breakup for friendship. And sometimes friendships do need to end if they become unhealthy or they're all withdrawn, no deposit. Have you ever had to break up with a friend, and how did you do it?
Well, I've had to break up with friends, and in full candor, I've handled it really poorly, and I think I've handled it really well. So it's usually probably my age. I thought I was terrible at it when I was in my 20s, even my 30s. Just, I kind of drift away because I'm busy. You know, I'm busy a lot, right? But that's not fair. You know, I think it's not fair. It's important to be clear with people. And I haven't always been clear with people. But as I've gotten older, I try harder to be very, very clear and succinct and without putting any sort of spin or shame on it. And I think I have to have boundaries, I guess. You have to have boundaries, right?
Yeah. And like in your 20s, you're like, whatever, I don't have any boundaries. In your 30s, you're like, ooh, I'm learning what boundaries are. And then like in your 40s, you start, I think, actually establishing, especially with friendship, because we don't have any time. You know, like you've got kids, you've got your jobs. When I want to get with my friends, that is a slice of like special time.
And the clarity is a beautiful thing. Just the not drifting and being clear with people is a gift you can give them because it causes discomfort on your part in the moment, but less pain probably on the other part in the long run. Yeah. Because the slow fade is torturous.
Yeah, it's not cool. And I have to be honest, I don't feel good about some of the friendships that in my 20s, I drifted away from because I didn't know how to have the conversation.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. I want to switch gears. I think that you and I, and Glennon too, but I think that in the sports world and in Hollywood, there's the old boys club. And you've experienced it, and you've somehow not only survived it, but you've been able to thrive. How did you experience the old boys club, first of all, in Hollywood?
Yeah, what's it like? Good times?
Well, I started when I was 14, so I just felt so lucky to get a shot. You know, when you have a dream and then you get a chance, you'll do anything. Like I would do anything to have that shot at a movie. I would stay up all night, whatever they said, work all night, don't sleep, or come in the next day 3 hours later. And I would do anything because it was my dream to be an actor and a storyteller. To that end, I think I endured some stuff that really wasn't appropriate. I know it wasn't appropriate. And as a kid, I didn't fully understand because the grownups in charge told me it was okay. Now that I'm older and I look back on it, I think, God, I was part of a system that had no rules. And still a lot of entertainment industry doesn't have a lot of rules. There's some really loose stuff going on, and I think what I did with that and those memories, because they kind of came up for me around 2017, like really strongly, around all the cases that came out. And I don't even want to say these people's names because they don't deserve us to say their names. But who abused women in my industry. And I got so charged by it. And I think I'd already started Hello Sunshine. So it's somewhere underneath. I was already like, I have to leave this business a better place than the way I found it. Because I don't want the next young Reese to have to go through what I went through. I want her to feel safe. Just because she wants to be an actress doesn't mean she deserves to be treated poorly, talked down to, sublimated, paid less, and told that she doesn't matter and to shut up and be quiet. Was a lot of what we were told. During 2017, when Time's Up started, I actually started sitting in circles with women who had done what I frequently we're the only woman on set.
Mhm.
Especially for a lot of us who came up in the 90s. I was the only girl on set a lot of the time. And a little girl too. I'd have a caregiver or what, but you know, rehearsals and things would happen. And I got to sit with other women who had similar experiences. And it was such a healing moment for me to know that like all of them had felt that way. All of them had been treated that way. And collectively, we weren't going to do it anymore. We were going to stand up for people and we were going to lock arms with each other. And we were going to protect women in our industry and other industries. And that was a really meaningful time for me, 2017, when we all went to the Golden Globes and wore black.
Yeah.
Because we know that the majority of the money that's made off of the red carpet photos is off of the women and their dresses and their clothes. It was a sign of solidarity. It was a sign of understanding. And it was also just this sign that we were all talking to each other.
That's right. The siloing was over.
There's nowhere to hide anymore. And I've had girls call me and say, I need to talk to you about something that happened over here on this set. I need you to call this person, that person. And we do it. And I do want to say something. There were incredible male allies. They didn't come forward. They didn't make it about them. They didn't put a badge on themselves. They just did really, really impactful things behind the scenes. And I will be forever grateful.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah. And what you just said, Reese, at the beginning of this answer for me actually changed my life. And I have to like just point it out is I've carried a lot of shame with me in terms of my alignment at times with the Good Old Boys Club, because that was part of survival in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I've carried some shame with me. And you said it was your dream and you would do anything to follow your dream and achieve your dream. And that is what I was doing. And I've been holding myself with this kind of shame around me, feeling like, oh, I was misaligned. So I just want to thank you for that. That was really healing for me.
That's the ugliness of it. They know that these people have dreams and they leverage it.
Yep.
Right.
Well, also someone's bad behavior doesn't get to steal your dream.
Yeah.
Right.
One bad system doesn't get to stop you from becoming Abby Wambach.
Yes.
Right.
You don't get to stop me.
Yes.
You don't get to make the rules of my life.
That's right.
And if I have to quietly work inside a system that does not make room for me to be a leader, like there was room for me to be a white blonde lady in a movie,
Right.
but was there room for me to be a leader? I wouldn't say when I started, no. And then to step into a little more power, a little more, I have trouble with the word power, but a little more responsibility, a little more leadership, the ability to control my own material, to give thoughtful filmmakers and female writers an opportunity to tell their story in their own words. You can't take that from me. Just because your system doesn't allow it, I'll make it happen. I mean, I feel lucky that in this lifetime, honestly, I can't believe it happened. Sometimes I pinch myself, like it makes me want to cry. Like when we sold Hill Sunshine, I just sobbed, y'all. I just sobbed and sobbed because it wasn't about the money. It wasn't. I didn't need that, right? For me, it was like women matter.
Yes.
And women's stories matter.
Yes.
And that's my life mission, right? It's not about me and I not needing an award or a thing. I mean, they're all very nice. I really appreciate them. But what my life work is, when my life purpose lined up with my work, and suddenly I was doing this work that changed other women's lives, and I got calls that were like, I could afford a house for the first time in my life. And my kid's going to college. I have economic stability because you picked my book club book. That's the stuff, y'all, where I pinch myself and I think, I am so lucky on this earth to be able to take what I was given and then just move it over there, right?
Yeah. I mean, luck
Shine
is
on
one thing.
someone
You're
else.
also a business mogul. Like you're just like such a badass and you are a leader in not just Hollywood, but the business world. It's amazing.
Well, thank you, honey.
I've seen people's lives actually. Like I've gotten texts from people with pictures of their home
Their keys to their home.
that they got because of your book club. Like I've actually seen that in real life happen.
This show is brought to you by Alma. I want to start with a truth I've learned the hard way. Taking care of your mental health isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. And even when you know you want support, the hardest part is often just figuring out where to start. For me, finding the right therapist changed everything. But getting there was kind of overwhelming. Endless searches, phone calls, dead ends. It's wild that the thing that's supposed to help you can feel so hard to reach. And that's why I love Alma. Alma, A-L-M-A, takes all that chaos out of the process. It's a simple, easy-to-use platform where you can search for licensed in-network therapists who actually feel like the right fit. You don't even need an account to browse, and you can filter by what matters most to you, their background, specialty, therapy style, and more. And here's the part that really matters. This isn't just about checking a box. It's about real connection. 97% of people who found a therapist through Alma say they felt seen and heard. And that's the heart of good therapy, someone who gets you, not just your symptoms. Better with people, better with Alma. Visit helloalma.com/weekend to schedule a free consultation today. That's helloalma.com/WECAN.
For the pod squatters, like, it's such a different thing to be an actor, which is an incredible thing, but you're still, someone else is producing it, someone else is controlling the story, someone else is doing the whole thing. And then to say, no, I want to be part of the creation of that. Like, how, Reese, how does, because we have the way that boys club works when it's overt abuse and then the unsiloing of women, which I think it's so cool. It's just like your mommy and me yoga class.
Yeah.
It's like you were alone, and then friendship. I'm starting to understand why friendship has been so important to you. How does it manifest when now you're at the table? Because that's different. When you are trying to be now one of the power players, because I actually love the word power. I think when people like you get power, it's a very good thing. How does it manifest in your life now?
Oh, that's such a good question. I sit sometimes in those board meetings, those tables, and I watch the way people behave. I think in my 20s, I would have tried to emulate their behavior, but now I bring myself to it. And I think there's a reason I'm there. I was uniquely chosen to be there at this moment in time. And that my perspective as a woman, as a mom, as a consumer of media matters. The way I watch my teenagers and what they're interested in versus what a boardroom full of people think is important. Women just inherently have this incredible knowledge base, right? But we're not empowered to use it in the right way. We're certainly not chosen to be on boards and to run companies. And if we are, the glare of the spotlight is so harsh and so difficult for female CEOs and women in the C-suite. It's tough. But I think I'm going to show up with my whole self and hopefully create value for everybody here, but also create space for more women to sit in these seats, you know?
And do it as you.
But it's not what I thought I'd be doing. I never thought I'd be doing this. I didn't grow up in the corporate world. I'm an actor. I learn lines. But I've been in the business for 30 years and I've watched what works. I know what stories work. I can read a book and I can tell you that's a good movie. That's not going to be a movie. And I can tell you exactly which studios will buy it and who's not interested. And I can say, okay, that's going to be a TV show. That's a movie, but that's a podcast. I just know from copious amounts of reading and understanding and analyzing the business. I don't think I felt empowered until I met my husband and he said, and I was so frustrated about women not having better parts and better scripts. And he's like, babe, you read more than anybody I know. Literally, you tear through books. Why don't you just buy some of them and start developing them? And I was like, I guess I can. And I said, should I do it with a studio? He's like, no. Self-fund yourself. Like, he just gave me incredible amounts of support, but also business acumen. Half the time I say stuff that he says I'm sure everybody's
We
annoyed
do
with
that
me.
too.
I'm
We
like,
do that too. Yeah.
but I can see it between y'all too. I mean, even when Abby, the wolf pack speech, I was like, oh, stuff in there feels like Glennon, but then that's so Abby. And I love that speech. The metaphors in it are so beautiful. And I think great partnership is about what you pull from each other, what you love about your person, what they see in you don't see in yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he is my number one fan. He's like, you go get him, babe.
That is, and
Okay.
you choose people when you talk about, I didn't know I would be doing this, but I'm thinking about your mom and when you were little and you had anxiety when you were little.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere that your mom's a nurse.
Yeah.
She, back then, I know because we were going through mental health stuff at the same time, probably as teenagers, that mental health was so stigmatized back then. But your
Oh my
mom
gosh.
said, no, we don't ignore this. We go at things. We go
Mhm.
at things. So that's in your blood, going at things, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
What are you going at right now?
Oh.
The whole freaking
Guys.
world. She's going
No, I haven't really told anybody that, but I made a pact with myself not to film anything for 9 months.
Wow.
And that's really hard for me. And I know that sounds like, oh, 9 months. Like, that's really hard for me. I have a very busy brain. I like to have that sense of accomplishment. I like to be on set. My girlfriend goes, I really like it when you're not doing acting and filming. And I was like, but I love it. She was like, no, I know you like to do what you do. But it has been a challenge for me. But it was a challenge where I wanted to get quiet, and you can't find your next steps forward when you're racing around and making yourself busy and not giving yourself space to think about, who am I? What do I want next? What does the next chapter of my life look like? It's huge, you know? I feel like I have time and space to do it. And a lot of times when I feel uncomfortable, I just go to work.
Yes.
And I gotta not do that.
Mhm.
I gotta not do that. Right?
When I was transitioning from soccer to this life, a friend said, think of it like going and watching a trapeze person. They're swinging from rung to rung. And where you are right now is you're kind of just holding on to each rung, because I was really struggling to let go of my past, and I was really scared to step into a future, an unknown. She said, you're just holding on to each rung. She said, but why do people go and watch trapeze artists do their thing? She said, it's to see what happens in the middle, because that's where the magic is. And I was like, oh shit. So I let go of both rungs, and I was like, okay.
And then I was like, hi, I'm Glennon.
Yeah.
But didn't you put your arms up in the air?
Yes, I did, Reese. I did lose my shit. I did.
I love your dorky self. It makes me so happy because
God.
I'm just such a huge dork. When I love people, it comes out of my face, out of my body, out of my arms. I like explode with joy and love for people. And it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
Do you feel that? Do you feel that a lotness, like too muchness? Because I have the theory that everybody either thinks they're not enough or too much. I've never met a woman who's like, yes, I believe I am the correct amount. Like, what the hell is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
Exactly. I think I'm too much.
Too much. You're too much, right?
Too much for people to deal with. Yeah.
Well, I have been. I think that I'm the right amount.
Oh my God, of course you're the one.
I feel like I've come into a sense of maturity. When I was playing soccer, I was too much.
Okay.
But now that I stopped interrupting people so much, I'm feeling like I'm better.
Well, I want to be clear. I don't think any women are actually too much or not enough. I just think that's the structure we're given. Right.
Exactly. Please say that again.
Yeah. No woman is too much or not enough.
Why are we told that? Like that was Untamed for me, was this unlocking of all of the constructs that don't hold water for me anymore. This idea of the perfect woman or the perfect, yet showing up in society with everything that is weighing down on us, it's just crushing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand why women are burned out and tired and don't feel appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're always told we're not enough. I think we're always told we're not enough, or sit down and shut up.
That's right. That's right.
You
It's
know?
very convenient to decide that every woman is one or the other.
But Abby, let me ask you this. You never get in a conversation with somebody, you have like a heated argument with somebody or a really passionate argument, and you never slink away going, God, I wish I hadn't said all that.
I don't have postmortem remorse about conversations. And
what? It's all I have. It's all I do.
We actually talk about this a lot.
I'm already thinking right now about the things during this hour I wish I didn't say. Like, that's all I do.
Yeah. But I think that part of this has to do with, I have gotten male privilege because of the way I present through my life and because of sports. So I have a sense of male privilege that maybe you both, because of the way you present and the way that you've been received in the world, it just might be slightly different.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting.
We Can Do Our Things is brought to you by Bumble, the app committed to bring people closer to love. I went through it in my first marriage. I was desperately in love, and then in a whiplash of a moment, it was gone. I felt abandoned, betrayed, crushed. A while out from the divorce, when a friend asked me whether I was ready to date again, I said, listen, I love men, but I also love hamburgers, and I just had the juiciest burger, and it gave me food poisoning, and I don't even want to look at another burger for a very long time. When I was ready to look, I was terrified. How in the world do you put yourself out there after that? I don't think there are a lot of people more courageous and cool than those folks who have been through the depths of heartbreak and are brave enough to reveal their heart again. It starts with that first step, a shaky voice inside of you that says, I want this even more than I don't want that. I want to share life and this beautiful banged up heart with another beautiful banged up heart. These days, that first shaky step often happens online on a dating app. In celebration of you brave ones, we want to tell you about Bumble. What I love about what Bumble is doing is they are making that first step feel a tiny bit less scary, more possible, more human. They make you feel more safe. New Bumble users have to add multiple layers of verification, like mandatory photo, phone number, and ID verification, so you can feel more confident that the people you're seeing are who they say they are. Plus, profiles aren't just about photos. They highlight personality, interests, and passions, so you can get a sense of whether you will actually connect with someone. You can be shaky and scared and show up anyway. You can start again. Bumble helps people do exactly that. Start your love story today on Bumble.
So, you obviously played the iconic role of Elle Woods. And because everybody knows Elle Woods, but because of Elle's beauty and popularity and femininity.
From Legally Blonde,
from Legally Blonde. She was constantly assumed to be not smart enough, not serious enough, not powerful enough to be at the table she earned her way to. And I think about this a lot because misogyny is one of the most powerful forces in our world and in our country for sure. And there's a special slice of misogyny that's reserved inside of people for women who are very feminine. So do you, Reese Witherspoon, relate to Elle Woods' plight?
Yeah, I think there's a million reasons why she resonates with people, right? Her drive, her ambition, her determination, beyond what people thought of her. But I don't think there's a person on earth who hasn't felt underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
It was really important to me as we were building that story that we have this scene with her mom and dad where her dad says, honey, you can't go to law school. That's for boring people, boring, ugly people. And then her boyfriend dumps her and says, you can't, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. Everyone has felt that need to prove yourself, to value yourself. I still think about that movie and how it kind of stands alone in a genre.
Yes, it does.
And it's odd. It's really odd, right? That there haven't been more films about a woman with ambition accomplishing something. Well, then I look at Tracy Flick, which is the other side of that, right?
Yes.
And she's reviled for being ambitious, right? One is perceived as stupid and one is perceived as a shrew or overly ambitious. But it's interesting. I mean, there's a whole spectrum of female behavior that we haven't seen on film really, because women aren't telling the stories. I don't know. I love Elle Woods for what she brings to people. Can I tell you one funny story?
Yes.
So I got divorced. I was about 31 or 32. And I was in that weird state after my divorce where I was like floating, like, who am I? Where am I?
I know it.
I had 2 little kids and I was like, oh, what am I doing? And I got called for jury duty.
God.
And
enough is enough. Enough is enough.
I go to jury duty. I'm thinking they're not going to pick me. Like, why would they pick me? Goes to the first day and they ask me all these questions. They're like, no, juror number 11, sit back down. We need you to stay. I'm like, stay? Okay. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'm like on the phone crying to my girlfriend. And they're like, juror number 11, you've been selected for the jury. Oh my God. It was a 5-day trial.
No.
I was there every day from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. No, like a little break at lunch with all my fellow jurors. And we went on the last day into deliberations to decide whether or not this woman was guilty of this crime. And they said, well, we have to pick a foreman for the jury.
Of course.
And literally all of them turned and pointed at me and said, you're going to be the foreman. And I said, me? Why am I going to be the foreman? They said, because you're a lawyer.
No.
I knew exactly where this is going.
Nope.
Elle Woods is in the room. Elle Woods is on the jury.
My God.
But let me tell you something. It made me think, if you could call for jury duty, you better show up. Because if any one of us is on trial, you want nice, thoughtful people in those juries?
That's right.
Because people did not understand the law. And I only knew enough about the law from being Elle Woods that I was like, no. You don't get to say guilty or innocent. You have to say if the lawyer proved it or not. You don't get to say, one of them goes, she looks guilty.
No.
I was like, that's not how this works.
Well, that's my favorite story of the entire year.
That's amazing.
And also, Reese, that it's so important to have stories on
television.
The TV.
Yes.
Because those people in that jury saw you as a leader because they had seen you as a leader on television. We don't even
if they were wrong in some way.
Just the images of women in power. They're like, Elle can do it. What? Like it's hard? Jury duty?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Guys, I'm not even kidding how many letters I get from girls to say I went to law school because of you.
Wow.
In other countries. I went to this thing in Washington, D.C., and it was 200 female judges from around the world. And we were all speaking in front of them. It was so moving and emotional that I gave a speech and they were clapping so much. And these girls came over and they were from China, these 10 girls. And they said, we went to law school because of you. And I was like, that's amazing, the power of media and film.
That's right.
That's why every time I get tired, I think, when people say, oh, you're so busy. We're making up for thousands of lost stories.
That's right.
Years and years of our stories not being told.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
When I look at my friend Ava DuVernay or Mindy Kaling or Tracee Ellis Ross or Kerry Washington, and we are working our tails off just to get these stories on film because we're making it for lost time and lost stories. And I think it's going to be amazing to see what the next generation feels inspired. Because there's been a lot of paths cut just in this past 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And the way you tell the stories, because I think when I'm thinking about Elle and her rise to power, one of the most important parts of that story was her female friends in that story. I mean, like you and Selma Blair, who were supposed to hate each other and then came together. Or, I'm taking the dog, like all the friendships. We say that once a week. Somebody comes into the kitchen, picks up Honey and goes, I'm taking the dog. Anyway.
How much do we love Jennifer Coolidge?
Oh, get out of here with her. She's a family fave for sure.
You've got these months where you're going to sit with yourself.
Yes.
It's so wise because if we don't get into the quiet, we don't get into creative mode. We're just in reactive mode, right?
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
We always have a next right thing. So in these last couple minutes that we have together, what do you do during your downtime that is nourishing for you? Because I love your friend that said she doesn't love you acting, because that means she loves you for you.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't.
So sweet.
It's so sweet. So like, what is nourishing and life-giving for Reese? Not like work Reese. But
And do you like this time or you hate it? Like what's going on inside?
yeah.
Depends on the day.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm really bored.
Mhm.
It's okay. I haven't been bored in a long time. But one thing that has just given me pure joy and energy is I paint with my mom on Tuesday mornings. She has this little group of, they're between 75 and 80 years old. There's 5 of them. And we do watercolors. And for 3 hours, no one looks at their phone. They literally just eat cookies, have coffee, and do watercolors. And it's a delight.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love your mom. Just freaking love you and your mom.
I mean, she's the love of my life. That's why I did Wild. It was like all about her mother being the love of her life. And her mother is just the greatest love.
Oh, God. With that, Reese Witherspoon, thank you for being even more you behind the scenes than you are in front of the scenes. You're just a love bug. And thanks for being out there doing the hard things. Thanks for telling women's stories. Thanks for caring. Go be with your family. We're grateful for you.
I love you guys. Thank you for saying that. And I love you guys so much. Honestly, every time I see you, I just have joy bursting out of my face. Just allow me to hug you.
Same with us.
And tell you, thank you. Thank you for making me feel brave and seen.
Well, thank you for paving a certain path that will last for hundreds of years, forever. You are making women's life, not just in Hollywood, but women's life in production, in business, in private equity. The deal that you were able to come to with Hello Sunshine is life-changing for women in every industry because they can see that it's possible.
Precedent setting. Yeah.
Reese, you are a friend. You are inspiration. We love you. And thank you for being with us today.
And the rest of you, don't forget this week when life gets hard, Reese says we can do hard things. Okay? We'll catch you back here soon. Bye. We Can Do Hard Things is produced in partnership with Cadence 13 Studios. Be sure to rate, review, and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Odyssey, or wherever you get your podcasts. Especially be sure to rate and review the podcast if you really liked it. If you didn't, don't worry about it. It's fine.